All right, guys, what's going on? Today we're going to talk to you about what goes down at tech school, what to expect, who you're going to be dealing with, and a few bases depending on what your job may be. So this is Afton Zeller. He was my Bay Chief at tech school. I'll let him go ahead and explain what Bay Chief was.
All right, so when you get to tech school, the first few people you're going to be meeting is usually the TLs that work there and whoever's working on shift doing details and stuff.
So the TLs are the military training leaders. They're the MTIs from basic training, except they're not as hard on you. They're like a little more laid back. So
yeah, it's a nice little switch in environment, going from people on you yelling at you 24/7 to people having an actual conversation with you and being humane. It's a lot more laid back than you would expect it to be, being you just left basic training. But going into tech school, it's a nice, easy transition into it. Now, of that, they're going to give you positions for leadership roles, I guess. You can either go through rope programs or the Bay Chief and Floor Chief stuff. Rope programs, like the Airman Leader programs, there's chaplain programs, and then there's drill team. Those are your basic leadership that they're going to ask you to volunteer for to do there. And then there's things that they're just going to hand you. Not maybe you specifically, but it's been handed to someone, and that someone will usually hand it down to people, and that's Bay Chief and Floor Chief. Picture what your element leaders were in BMT, and that's kind of the same thing as what you're going to be getting when you get to a tech school, only not as serious and not as hard on you. Basically, all you do is you're the accountability person. So let's say when we were at Sheppard, our accountability system was based off of a scan-in sheet. So you would scan into the building and you would scan out to the building. There'd be a computer that says this person is in, this person is out. Occasionally that computer would fail. So when that happens, they wake you up at night and you're the Bay Chief, so you have to go downstairs to your MTL, get an accountability sheet, come back upstairs, make sure everybody's there that is supposed to be there, hand it back in. Outside of that, that's usually the only responsibility that they're going to make you do. Outside of that, you're like the, how do I put this? Just the person to talk to for anything. At least that's the way it was at Sheppard, and I've been to two tech schools, so I've seen it done differently in both areas. In Sheppard, usually in the 3-6 dorm that I was in, we would take everyone from our floor that would get there every Tuesday or Monday, and we'd bring them into our day room and just basically give them the real answers that they're looking for, because through Death by PowerPoint, talking to the leadership, you're going to get the good little airman answers, and then your Bay Chiefs and Floor Chiefs will give you the real answers to all your questions. And that's basically what we do.
So yeah, and back to the element leader thing. Basically, our tech school had 3 floors that we were on. The 4th floor was all crew chiefs, but it would have 3 floors. Each floor would have its own floor chief, and then it broke down into its own Bay Chief. So you'd have, how many bays were on the floor?
3.
So there were 3 bays on the floor, so that 3 got divided up among 3 different people, and the entire floor was accountable by 1 person. So mainly, like, after you go to class, you'll do PT, and the people that do PT are gonna have to stand in a long line of about 80 people just with that floor chief or the Bay Chief or whoever would be doing it that day, and they would go down the list and sign you off, or whenever you have mandatory meetings that you have to go to, your Bay Chief, those people would be the people who would sign you off. So, I mean, if you are cool with those people, maybe you could go do something else and they would sign you off. Like, those are just the kind of things that the Bay Chiefs and Floor Chiefs would do. Well, I mean, like, I don't really recommend doing that. I recommend just going and sticking to the program. So
Yeah, plus we're like the word between you and an MTL for those kind of situations. Let's say something pops up, you had a meeting, you go to your floor chief, hey, I have to go to a meeting right now, I'm not going to do PT. All right, cool, I'll check you off, and then if it comes up, then I'm the one who has to answer to you. So if the MTL were to talk to me and say, hey, where was so-and-so during PT? It was like, oh, they told me they had an appointment, so mark them off as good. And that's how that works.
So yeah, tech school really isn't going to be that bad. Most of your maintenance jobs are going to be at Sheppard Air Force Base, Wichita Falls, Texas.
And then most of your comm jobs will be at Keesler Air Force Base, which even so, like I said, I was at Sheppard and then I went to Keesler. Both those bases had the similar Bay Chief and Floor Chief program. The only difference is Sheppard was a little bit more like interpersonal, like they would actually talk to you and come to you, and Keesler, they were just the accountability people. Like they would sign you in, sign you off, and that's 99% of the actual things that they do. So.
Now let's get to the part that most people are going to matter about whenever they get there. Are females and males allowed to be in the same rooms? If you're at Sheppard, that's a big fat no. You're not going to talk to them whenever you're inside the dorms, besides if you're down in one of the common areas.
Or at least it was when we went through. These things change drastically over time. Not everything we say now is going to be the word of the land once you may or may not get to tech school, but just from our experiences of going through, this is what it was like. Sheppard, absolutely not. Females had their own bays, male had their own bays. If you went inside either of those bays unauthorized, you got paperwork. Keesler, not the same. I had females right next to me, there were females down the hall, they were allowed in each other's rooms so long as the door was propped open. But like I said, that may or may not change because while I was at Keesler, when I first got there, it wasn't like that. That happened over time.
So yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to comment down below. Subscribe, like the video, whatever you want to do. It's your choice. So if you guys want to follow more of Appenzeller, he's going to be on my Instagram. Just go look at my Instagram. He's the pictured guy on the rock. And I'll leave it down in the description box below. But you guys take it easy. Any more questions, Snapchat, I can get back to you really quick on that. About any tiny little tech school details you want to know that we didn't cover in this video, because there's obviously way too much stuff to cover in one video. And we got to get to the gym too. So you guys take it easy.
Deuces!
I'll see you later.